You're trying to go through the door and you want to bring everybody through the door with you, but they can't fit through the door. You got to get through the door, get solid, and then you can reach back and help people along, but you have to get there first. Your journey and your success and your movement ahead can't be relying on whether a friend is going to go with you. Hi guys. So our bevy of the day is my favorite thing ever, Reed's ginger beer. I drink everything in my wine glass because it makes it fancy. I actually drink these all throughout my pregnancy and my son loves them now. And they're so spicy. So I did that. So I really consider myself a generational cycle breaker. I don't really like saying generational curses because it makes it seem like it's something out of our control, but they're generational cycles. They're cycles that we continue until somebody decides they want differently. It just continues to happen because that's what we learn, and it just keeps getting passed on, right? One of the biggest things for me was to bring financial wealth to my family and pass that down as legacy. And it is something that is huge to me, way bigger than money. More about freedom. When I started this journey, I would write in my journal, my why was my family, to retire my parents, buy them their home. It was all these things outside of my purpose and outside of myself. My parents are very much take care of yourself. We appreciate everything you can do, but they don't expect anything of me. This is my own thing that I took onto myself. And while that is still an absolute goal of mine, something I learned the hard way was that if my foundation is not solid, money management, if I have not taught myself how to maintain, if I am automatically starting out without having the knowledge, but mentally trying to carry everybody on my back, how can I help anyone else? I put so much pressure on myself to make that happen before I was even in a good space to make it happen or to see it happen for myself. Lisa Nichols said something. She said, you're trying to go through the door and you want to bring everybody through the door with you, but they can't fit through the door. You got to get through the door, get there, get solid, and then you can reach back and help people along, but you have to get there first. And when I heard her say that, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. This kind of goes back to that self-trust thing, right? Before I really did this self-trust work, I think subconsciously I felt like if I was working and making X amount of money and, enjoying things for myself as my life and my lifestyle started to increase, if I was enjoying anything, tiny things, literally the smallest things, like eating at expensive restaurants or whatever it would be the smallest things, but in my mind I would feel this guilt. In my heart I would feel this guilt, like I shouldn't be living that way if my loved ones aren't also living that way. And if this is you, if you are a generational cycle breaker and you are determined to change things in your family, this video doesn't really have any steps. This is more a take the pressure off of yourself and get yourself there first. You can't help anybody if you have not done the work in yourself to create a solid foundation. Because if you're not sure about where you're going, if you're not sure about what you want and what you're working towards, it will crush you. It will crush you. You have to work on yourself first. Work on your mental, work on your financial foundation, and make sure that you have something to stand on before you are trying to take on the weight of the world. And while there are going to be those amazing people that you do want to help, that you will eventually be able to help, there will also be people that cannot go with you. It's going to be hard because some of these people might be very, very close to you. And maybe they didn't ask to elevate with you. Maybe they didn't ask to change their mindsets and change their surroundings, but you want the best for them. But if they don't want that for themselves, you can't do that for them. And the hardest part is going to be letting go and leaving them where they are. What will happen when you try to drag somebody along with you is they will either consciously or subconsciously pull you back to where you were. Consciously, maybe because they are really like, who do you think you are? They might be that person. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than me? Or it just may be subconscious because they're just not in that space. They're just doing what they've always known to do and what they want to do. Just because you're growing and you have a calling on your life does not mean the people around you have that same calling. And I've found that this is the hardest part to come to grips with, to just allow your loved ones to be where they are, in the mindsets that they're in the positions that they're in, if that's where they choose to stay. You have to decide, is this something that you want for yourself? Because if it is something that you want for yourself, this is an individual journey. Your journey and your success and your movement ahead can't be relying on whether a friend is going to go with you. It's getting back to the idea that we have a calling on our lives. We have a purpose for our lives. It's not your job to know anybody else's purpose or to explain your purpose to anyone else. It is your job to hear your calling or to feel that pull or whatever you call it. Intuition, calling, purpose, they're all intertwined. And sometimes when I'm not clear on my purpose, I just listen to my intuition. I listen to what I'm being called to do. They all work together for me. When you have that, when you feel that, your job is to act on it. That's your job. What I hope by putting these videos out is that anyone going through this journey does not feel alone, doesn't feel like anything you're experiencing is abnormal. And I think especially in the Black and Hispanic communities, when we are trying to elevate, it's really hard because one, we may not have seen it at all. We may not have seen it much. Maybe the people around us are not in that same space. As someone who values my community and have a really tight relationship with my family and close relationships with my friends, I hold on to this idea. What if what I do can help and inspire my loved ones in a way that I don't even know that they need, that maybe they don't even know that they need? What if that's my purpose? What if my purpose is to do this and do it alone and move forward, even if someone's not right there cheering me on and validating and walking it with me? What if our job is to be the first person? Because there always has to be a first person or a person to take what someone did before and take it to the next level. What if that's us? What if it's not for them to come with you? What if you have to go first for others to be like, that's possible? What if that's what we're here for? I've found that looking at it that way has motivated me. I can't explain the feeling of having each one of you come and say that something I said has helped you have an aha moment, change a habit in your life, or just see something differently than the way you saw it before, to feel seen, to feel like you're not alone. That warms my spirit. Nothing gets me more emotional than having a friend or family member or someone I know tell me that something I said has pushed them forward or kept them inspired, got them through hard moments. That, to me, it's next level because you don't even know that that's what you're doing. You know, when I put these videos out, I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm just sharing what I learned because I want it to be easier for someone. But to know that it helps the people that are in my circle, I can't explain what that feels like. And so if you are here and you're feeling like you want to pull everybody along and you want, your tribe next to you. And I think we look at celebrities who are surrounded by family and friends and doing it together. And it's amazing. And we all want that. And God bless those of you who have that. While I have a super supportive family, there's just things that I want to do that I have to do it alone first. And I have to go forward and make it happen regardless of whether there's people around me or not. And I know I have the support. I know I have the love. But sometimes physically you want people there too. And it's just not a good enough reason for us not to go forward and do what we have to do. So take a sip and take a breather. Go have a good cry. Do a workout. But your calling is your calling. It is not for anybody else to execute. It is not for anyone else to see. Maybe the only way that they see it is when you bring it to life. I'm an empath, so grasping the idea of just pushing forward when I want everybody to come along, it's hard. It's hard for me to grasp that. But I understand that until my foundation is cemented and dried and rock solid, I can't carry anybody on my back. We are all gonna sink. The videos I've posted in the last 2 months is the laying of the foundation. It is the true understanding of myself, true trusting of myself. It is knowing that when things fall apart, I can still get back up. It is knowing that I am so spiritually connected that I can figure out the answer. I just got to get quiet in myself. It is taking my power back. It is setting boundaries. All those things have to be in place before you can help anyone else. And I mean, you can help people in the meantime, but the things that we are trying to do, getting to next levels and things like that, you need to be in a really good space and a true understanding of yourself. Give yourself that grace. Give yourself that time and that space to be able to build yourself up and again, solidify that foundation. As a young Black, Hispanic, Caribbean woman, the pressure of wanting better for my lineage is is huge. You know, whether you have to make the decision to separate yourself from family or you're just trying to create a better life for your family and create legacy. It's hard and it's a unique experience. My way of getting through it is understanding and trusting myself that I just need to do the work, understanding that I have to do what I'm being called to do, and that this is where I have to take my human emotions, put them aside, and trust in my spiritual knowing, trust in what I'm being called to do, and to do that and stay focused and know that because that's in my heart and I desire to do that, then I'm going to do that. It's just a matter of time. I just need to solidify this. I'm here to give you permission to focus on you, to fill your cup, then allow your cup to overflow. That is what foundation is. It is filling your cup. And I mean, that's every aspect of life, isn't it? You have to fill your cup first so it can overflow into the lives of everyone you love. In that same sense, if you can fill yourself with the knowledge that you need, if you can really get your finances in order and get your business in order, get your things in order, get your money or your job or your career in order and feel good about that. And then you're taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you're doing this work. Then from that full space, you overflow into the lives of the people you love. Don't let the idea of like leaving family behind or leaving people behind, don't let that stop you. Because again, if you trust yourself, do the work of trusting yourself and knowing who you are, being the type of person that you want to be, knowing that the people you love will always have your loyalty. That means you absolutely will come back. You absolutely will give when you can, but you cannot pour from a half empty cup. Keep yourself full before you are giving out to other people. Okay? That is not selfish. When I don't feel taken care of, I do not show up at the same level as I can as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a friend. I'm more impatient. I'm easily frustrated. It just doesn't feel good. When I have poured into myself, when I've poured into my career, when I've poured into my mind and I've taken time, when I've taken a bath and like just relaxed, which I don't get to do all the time. But when I do what I can for myself and I feel like I've taken care of myself and I've tried and I've poured into myself, I show up so much happier and so much more full in every other role. So the same goes with trying to help people. If I feel good about what's going on in my area, I show up for other people so much better, so much more creatively, so much more excitingly. So if you needed that permission, this is your permission to take the pressure off of yourself for a second. Maybe you have people who are not going to understand. You'll keep being in this circle if you don't take the time to pour into yourself first and allow that to overflow into everyone else. You'll be in this cycle of chasing and trying to keep up. Trust yourself. Do what you're being called to do. You got this. Okay? I hope that this was helpful. This is another video without many steps, but I hope that you take away the message and I hope that it really sticks. And I hope that you understand you're not alone in this. I hope that you understand that this is something a lot of us experience and a lot of us don't talk about. My favorite saying, you can cry, you can break down, you can have your moment, but give yourself a timeline. Beyonce says she gives herself one day to feel bad, okay? And then you got to get up and you got to figure it out. I'll be honest, the more that I practice at it, it becomes shorter and shorter. Once I cry, it might be that 10 minutes and then I'm getting right back up. And I'm like, all right, let's put the hair back in a ponytail and let's figure out what's next. As you start to practice this idea of hitting these hard moments and pushing forward anyway, it gets a little bit easier. I'm sending you a big, big hug on this journey. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. And until next time, guys, keep living in love, in light, and in your truth. Mwah. Bye. Monday, tune in on Tuesday, tune in on Wednesday.